It's irrelevant. It's intrusive. But the answer is no. He couldn't have used evolution because God doesn't equivocate with himself. He determined to create miraculously, which is the only way that it could have happened, because it's the way it did happen. And he did it all in 6 days. This is either true or it's not. If it's true, then Scripture is true. If it's not, then Scripture is not true. So you can see that at the very outset of the Bible, you face a formidable test. In Job, chapter 38, I love this chapter. The Lord's trying to put Job in his place. And the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and reminds him of his silly ideas and the equally ridiculous ideas of his friends. And he says, "Who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge?" Here are counselors doing nothing but obscuring truth. "Now gird up your loins like a man. I will ask you," God says sarcastically. "You instruct me. You tell me. You got all the answers, huh? Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth?" I want to say that to every evolutionist. Really? You're going to tell me how it happened, are you? Well, God has a word for you. Where were you when I did it? You were nowhere. Tell me if you have understanding. Who set its measurements, since you know? Who stretched the line on it? And what were its bases sunk? Who laid its cornerstone? And when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who enclosed the sea with doors, boundaries? When bursting forth it went out from the womb, when I made a cloud its garment, thick darkness its swaddling band, and I placed boundaries on it. I set a bolt and doors, lightning bolt, and I said, "Thus far you shall come, but no farther." God put borders on the water and stopped the proud waves. Have you ever in your life commanded the morning? I love the sarcasm. Have you ever caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth and the wicked be shaken out of it? It is changed like clay under the seal, rolled on an axis is what that means. Can you hunt the prey for the lion? Verse 39, can you satisfy the appetite of the young lion? It just keeps going like this. It goes like this through chapter 39. And eventually, Job gets the point. And he realizes this is ridiculous. In chapter 40, in verse 3, Job answered the Lord and said, "Behold, I am insignificant. What can I reply to thee? I lay my hand on my mouth." Smart guy. You weren't there and nobody else was there. Only God was there. And he told us how he did it, and you can either believe it or you can reject it. If it's true, the Bible is true. If it's not true, the Bible is suspect. If you look at it the other way, if the Bible is true, then this is true. The issue, friends, is fidelity to the truth. This is theological. I'm very much aware of the interest in creation research. I'm very interested in science that is being done today by Christians who believe in creation. But I think there's a very large missing component, and that is the biblical theology of creation. They seem to always be trying to prove their point that evolution doesn't exist by using some scientific method. And while nothing in the world supports evolution. Nothing. Nothing in the world supports evolution now or in creation. Disproving evolution now doesn't necessarily disprove it in creation, because there is no scientific explanation for creation. So we don't gain any ground by somehow saying that because evolution doesn't exist now, it couldn't have existed then. God did not use evolution because it is clear in Genesis that He created everything in 6 days. There are honest non-Christians who recognize the impossibility and non-existence of evolution in the world today and have honestly said that evolution is not an explanation of present reality, and therefore it can't be an explanation of prior reality. It isn't happening now. It doesn't happen, therefore it hasn't happened. I'm glad for that. I'm glad for that kind of honesty in the scientific world. But while they are admitting that, they are not embracing the account in Genesis. Because if you embrace the account in Genesis as true, then you embrace the Bible as true, and the God of the Bible as the true and living God, and you get not only a creator, but you get a lawgiver and a judge. And so they would love to find another alternative except the creator God of Scripture. So you have the development of this new kind of science called ID, intelligent design, in which people acknowledge that there is behind this great reality of the universe a mind that is intelligent, from which it all springs, but they are unwilling to acknowledge that to be the God of the Bible and Genesis to be the accurate account of creation.
When you're talking about the theology of creation, you're dealing with an immense topic. It's much more comprehensive than we can cover in the short time we have together here. But we'll come back to it again next time. Even that, however, won't be enough. Thankfully, we've got plenty of other resources to help deepen your understanding of this critical topic. A book like The Battle for the Beginning, which covers the issue with the kind of breadth and depth that you'll find helpful. In fact, it's 200 pages long. And this book defends the historic interpretation, the literal interpretation of Genesis 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to browse our online catalog to learn more, or simply call one of our operators now at 888-57-GRACE. That's 888-574-7223. We'd love to minister to you in this way, and thanks for joining us today. I'll see you next time.